Jay Heilman here from ChristianMusicReview.org. I am joined at Walt Disney World by actor Corbin Bernsen, and Corbin's actually here to tell us a little bit about his new film. It's called Rust. It's going to come out on DVD October 5th. Corbin, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to point out that not all of the DVDs have my autograph on it. That is a special one right here.
Special edition.
For you. Yeah. Okay.
I appreciate it. Tell us about the movie. Tell us, it's you actually starring it. You directed,
I starred, I directed, I wrote it, I pretty much did the whole thing. But as I should, because it's really a movie that's about a journey that I'm on, a personal sort of journey, rediscovering my faith, you know. That was sort of rekindled in me several years ago after my dad passed away, and really explores that and does it through this character that's not me, but a pastor in a town who has lost his faith, just in a midlife crisis, just stopped the communication, and not on his behalf, but he's not talking back.
Right.
So he gives up his faith for a short period of time and tries to get to the bottom of the terrible tragedy that's happened in his town. And through getting to the bottom of that tragedy and seeking truth, he comes across a twist at the end that restores his faith.
Right. Well, I got a chance to watch it, and I absolutely loved it. It's got a very good story of redemption, one of the characters from the film.
Lloyd Warner.
Yeah, we were talking about him on the interview, and tell us a little bit about him, because his character, you said that's him.
Lloyd.
That's him in real life.
Lloyd is mentally challenged. I hate to say that even. You got to give some sort of politically correct way of saying it. Lloyd. That's Lloyd in the corner. That's how strange he is. We brought him along. He just screeches every now and then. No, Lloyd is a challenged guy, but probably one of them. He's not an idiot savant, not that
right.
Rain Man thing, but he's this incredibly gifted, talented, compassionate human being, and I wrote this part for him in the movie because I got to know him. In fact, all the people I got to know him. And then I wrote the movie. So I kind of know who I was writing for. It wasn't as though I wrote it when they had to find a mentally challenged guy. I wrote it for Lloyd, and he was just, he was incredible, and I'm writing another movie for him right now.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Well, speaking of Rust, what's the overall takeaway message that you want viewers that sit down and watch it? What do you want them to take away from it?
Well, you know, it's a pretty simple message. There's a lot more you can look at and investigate if you want to see the presence of the Lord, presence of God, you know, in there that you can take away. But the simple message is one that I sort of needed for me, and that is through all of it, and the confusion and the chaos and the misunderstandings and the what might feel like a void, the one thing that we can do is have faith.
Right.
Have faith. And, you know, and quite frankly, that can be a Christian, it can be a Jew, it can be a Muslim, it can be whatever it is. It's just a human being have faith. Now, beyond that, to the Christian point of view in the world, have faith in God's plan for you. You know, have faith in God's plan for you. And when all else seems absolutely impossible, just have faith. It's the hardest thing to do in the world, and kind of the easiest, you know. But have faith. That's really it. And I think it's an odd but very sort of applicable message to these times that we're in, you know, with everything that's going on, and even currently today, some very philosophical religious issues, burning Korans and mosques built at ground zero.
Here in Florida too.
Yeah, everywhere, you know, and the economy and things, and people are, you know, homeless and drugs and everything. But you got to look at it all and look at this wondrous gift that we've been given. You know, this incredible miracle of this life that we've been given, that He's given us.
Right.
And when it just seems to not make sense, and when it just appears to be utter chaos, just have faith.
Right.
You know, and when you have faith, you sort of start to reveal. It reveals itself. You know, I also find that, you know, sometimes when you have sometimes you get like tense shoulders or something. Well, if you fight the tension, it makes it worse. And sometimes you just have to relax, breathe into it, give into it, let it be. And it's funny, life will work itself out. Right. And things become clearer.
And I think that's what I took away from this story was your character coming back to that faith. And I'm really excited for people to see this. I was excited to see Corbin in a role away from the normal major league role that we've seen in the new show.
All the slimy, sleazy characters.
Yeah. And you play in a show now called Sight.
Right.
Yeah. A couple of my friends. I haven't actually seen it, but my friends were like, "Oh, you need to watch this show. It's good." My brother included watched it, and he wanted to know what your favorite football team was. Since you live out in California.
You know something? I'm angry.
You're
I'm angry. I'm a fan of angry football. No. You know, they took away my Rams when I was a kid, and you know, I was never much of a college guy. For a while, I was. My oldest son, for a year played at Connecticut 2 years ago when they tied the Big East with West Virginia,
right.
Which was an incredible year. To see my son on the field, you know, that was just finally I had something to root for in football again. But I went to Rams games. I went to the first Super Bowl with my dad, and then they took away my football team, and I tried for a while to go to the Chargers because it was the closest, but it's like San Diego. I can't root for San Diego. I guess I sort of considered all the San Francisco teams, though I didn't really like the arrogance of the Raiders. And then the Raiders came to LA, and it wasn't, I don't know, anything that I'd want to root for. It felt very temporary. So I just don't have a football team, and it really upsets me. I love watching pro football, but I don't get to have that wonderful thing of like my Dodgers.
Because you don't live in St. Louis.
Because I don't live in St. Louis. Well, no, now I really don't, because I don't like what was done with them, you know.
Well, we really appreciate you joining us today. And we got, Rust is going to be on DVD on October 5th. And,
everywhere.
Everywhere. Walmart, Family Christian, all the stores, so go and pick it up. Corbin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
All right.